Aloha. Really pleased to be here. Thank you for allowing me to join in this groundbreaking webinar. Again, my name is Pauline Sato. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm of Japanese ancestry. I was born and raised here, and truly feel that this is my home. As my slides get set up, I want to put into context that what I'm going to talk about is our work with the Mālama Learning Center on how we are connecting people to their place and basically growing plants and people. Sorry, trying to advance the slides, it's not working. Could someone advance the slide for me? Thank you. Mālama Learning Center is a very small environmental education organization that is based on the island of Oahu, which is the most populated island in our state of Hawaii. And we are an education organization, but we're grounded in conservation. We design and deliver programs using these place-based and hands-on learning techniques that are respectful of the host culture. Okay, I can advance the slides now. We have a small team of people, basically all from living in Hawaii or born and raised in Hawaii. If you have never been to Hawaii, some people may think, oh, it's very rural. And of course, there are rural places, but we are pretty much in an urban environment. And this slide shows one of our students in the west side of Oahu that people consider country, but it really is quite urban and becoming much more so. The main second city of Oahu is Kapolei, and as you can see in this slide, in 2010, the population was about 15,000. Now it's about 21, but the projection in 2035 is about 165,000. So we kind of can't imagine that now because the traffic is so horrible now, but it will likely get even worse. But even in this context of being an urban center, there are a lot of cultural sites that are Hawaiian, Native Hawaiian. There's also many Hawaiian homesteads, which I don't have time to explain, but it's basically at places where Native Hawaiian people are living that you know helps them succeed. So in our region, we have 3 homesteads and a growing population of Native Hawaiian people. But we do have a lot of urbanity. The West Oahu, University of Hawaii West Oahu campus is there. We have a big mass transit system that's being developed and lots of homes. Our past, though, really shapes our future. We've had decades, more than 200 years of impact on our lands, and things like wildfire, which is not supposed to happen that often. We rarely get lightning strikes. Invasive species, poor land management practices that causes our watersheds to disappear and erosion to go to our ocean. So we're trying to create a program that addresses this through education, and we call it Ola Na Kini. That phrase is from a Hawaiian pule or prayer that translates to life for the multitude. And this program that we have been embarking on with Mālama Learning Center is about 3 years old, but it's about growing, again, plants and people. We grow our own plants in our 2 nurseries, one based at a high school and one based at our location in the mountains. We strive for 100% native Hawaiian plants, dryland forest plants that match the ecosystems we work with. We have about 20 different species growing and more species coming on the line. And we also work with a lot of people, from teachers, students, and community volunteers. And we think diversity is really our strength. We've been experimenting with different planting styles. You know, we are a conservation education organization, but mainly we're teachers. So we're not professional conservationists. So my background is with the Nature Conservancy. It's, you know, I'm not an expert in that. So we were trying different things to reforest some of our very degraded lands. And I have to admit that our initial efforts were not very successful. But we learned a new style we're calling community planting. And we learned it from a colleague on another island of Molokai. And we've been really pleased with just the short-term results we've seen. You see in this slide, on the left side is what we call our community planting style. And on the right side, that doesn't look so good, is our standard style. But one of our students said, oh, Miss, that's kind of like COVID style because everything is so separated. And we just thought that analogy was historically funny, but also just so appropriate. So our early results have really shown us that, you know, even teachers, we can learn how to adapt and grow our community of forests. You can see in these slides in just over a year how our plants are really thriving in without a lot of care. And we're just tickled pink about that. But perhaps most importantly, not just the plants that we're growing, it's the people. Nearly every single plant that was put in the ground or weed that was dug out, and we dig out a lot of weeds, were put in by our students, teachers, or community volunteers. And especially in times of our COVID separation, it's been difficult. We couldn't have the same kind of student groups that we've had in the past. But we still are engaging now small groups of people, families who are coming together and feeling reconnected to their land and their place. And we work with mainly Native Hawaiian communities. So our recent Arbor Day plantings are just an example of how powerful this is. And here are just some quotes from both teachers and students, and even one of our independent evaluators on the power of these types of programs. And what we do is not unique at all. There are other groups that are doing similar things, maybe in slightly different ways, but it's about connecting people to their place and showing results and showing that everyone can make a difference, and reconnecting, especially for Native Hawaiian people, themselves to their culture, and learning about these plants that are so much ingrained in who they are, whether they know it or not. And I think they are now, you know, really seeing that connection. And with this slide, I'm not going to read all the people we thank, but this is a labor of love from so many people, so many places. And I really appreciate everyone who's helped us in the past and in the future. Thank you very much for allowing me to share these thoughts with you today.